What's up, Facebook? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? It is Sunday. Welcome to the show.
Let's
Pure
get
and
it going.
Uncut. Lions
Let's get it
football talk
going.
with Coach D. Where you at?
Right here,
I don't see
right
no
here,
smoke.
right
I see
here,
the smoke.
baby, right here,
Right there you go. There
right
you go.
here.
And me, Will Muhammad. What's going on,
Everybody.
y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Sunday. We have another interesting week.
Yeah,
Coach
I know.
gave me a scare
Man,
after I gave
you.
him one. After I gave him one the week before. As y'all can see, we on time too. Well, we got a special guest in the building. We're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
introduce him real quick, and we're gonna jump right into our interesting news of the week. This young man is a very special young man to me. I'm so privileged and honored for him to be a guest on our show. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Juan Walker
My
Jr.
man,
Sir,
my
appreciate
man,
it. Appreciate it.
Welcome,
my
welcome, welcome,
man.
welcome. We're gonna get back to Juan in a second, but Juan, we gotta talk about last week. How was your week last week, Coach?
It was busy. Then I got a scare, man. I had early Friday morning, man. I had shortness of breath, couldn't breathe. I was wheezing, man. It was crazy, man. And then I ended up going to urgent care and had found out that, I was something with my lungs and stuff. So they put me on some steroids and antibiotics. I'm feeling a lot better now. I took the COVID test and it came back negative. So I was blessed and relieved from that, you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of
'Cause
this that COVID is not playing. It's
I
serious
was,
out there.
I've gotten calls from, and texts from different people, family members and friends. You know what I'm saying? And I got that text from Tulsa, man. I hit him back up about 4 5 hours later, and I didn't hear from him. I got nervous, and uh, I was so glad, when my brother hit me up and told me I'm good, coach, and I was like, whew,
Yeah.
thank you.
It
So
was
yeah,
it was
so
crazy because like when you sleeping, it just hits you out of nowhere.
mhm.
It just hit you. I had for 2 days I couldn't even sleep in my bed, because I didn't want whatever it was. I didn't want it to
Mhm.
transfer to somebody, transfer to my girl, man. And she went and took 2 COVID tests at her job. You know what I'm saying? So thank God everything, worked out in our favor. You know what I mean? But
Right.
that no, can't do it. Keep that mask on, even at
Yes,
work,
sir.
for
Exactly.
real.
And we still got now we got Donald Trump being impeached for a second time.
Uh
We're not
huh.
gonna talk. We're not gonna talk about that much, but that's just in the news. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave my opinions to that to myself.
Right. That's
Um,
that's
but
that's. mm,
but even bigger, we got the European strand, that new strand of coronavirus from over in Europe is here.
Yeah, they just had some people, a couple, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
that lives in
Hmm.
Washtenaw County that
Hmm.
brought it over here. But they were
Exactly.
lucky to
Check
uh
your identity. Yeah.
yeah to subdue them. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know who else is going over to other countries and coming back and bringing something, man.
Right,
I
right.
mean, that's why I'm not traveling. I'm not even inside the United States. I just think, for me, I can't speak for other people. I don't want. I don't want to put my convictions on other people. But I'm staying put. I mean, for one thing is that, what if I'm the reason because I went somewhere and was around somebody, what I'm saying, and got it, came back
Hmm.
and gave it to somebody else. See, I know I can't get it or give it to somebody in my house if I don't have people in my house and I'm not going places, what I'm saying, other than where I need to go. Now, don't get me wrong. You got to do something. You need to do it. We're talking about people having to make decisions on, whether to eat or not eat. You got to eat.
Got to.
But But I think that when we doing things, people, oh, I gotta give me a vacation. Okay, you living it's cool that people want to live their day as if it's their last day, which we should, but you should also be thinking about how might this affect somebody else. But
Right.
that's me. What's your take on it, Juan?
Um, by me being a young guy, and I've been in and out the hospital. Well, I haven't been in and out the hospital, but I was in the hospital for a week when the COVID, was hot. When it was high, the numbers was high.
Yeah.
Um, I was blessed enough to not catch it. None of my family, none of my immediate family, nobody in my family, um, has gotten the COVID. So I've been blessed in that regard. Um, but it's serious.
How? So we'll catch up. We'll talk about the sports part. We'll get that on the 40 minute, 35 minute mark into the show. Let's jump right into our special guest. Like I said, this young man is very near and dear to me. I had the privilege and to coach him, to give him his start in football,
Yeah.
and well, I give him anything. He earned everything. Every time he was on that offensive line for me, on my side of the ball, he earned it. He
Sure.
worked hard for it. Uh, but this young man is he's only 19 years old, y'all.
Young entrepreneur too. Young
That's
entrepreneur.
that's what he's only 19 years old, and this young man has accomplished more in 1 year out of high school. Well, it's been almost 2 years.
It's almost 2 years now. Yeah.
Almost
I'm
two
proud
years
of
in
him.
June.
Very
But
proud.
he's done, we're just going to stick to that 12 months, 365 days. He's accomplished more in 365 days after high school than most of us have accomplished in 25 years out of high school. So let's start off, Juan. You start playing football at 9 years old, right? Eight,
Correct.
nine.
No, no, no. I started at six, coach. I started
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Southfield Ravens.
Okay, cool. Okay, so he defected and came from where to now.
Yeah.
What got you into football? I know everybody want to know that.
Um, my dad got me into football. He was the one that that pushed me to get into football because when he was growing up, he didn't have the opportunity to do it. So he was almost trying to live his dream through me. So
Okay.
he the one who pushed me to get into football when I was six, and I was actually when I was six. I liked it, man. It was fun. Most people don't like it at a young age because it's a rough sport.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, that's when I started playing when I was six, and then so I played for the Ravens for about a year and a half
Hmm.
to 2 years. I think it might have been a year and a half, 2 years. I think I don't know. I don't know if I finished my second season with the Ravens, but
Okay.
after that I went over to the Cougars and I started with them on the D team, and I played with them all the way through the 18.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Well, I know that because I was there.
Yeah.
But so you know, real quick, because I know some people want to know
And I played with them all
what
the way through
what was it like playing for me? What kind of coach was I?
You playing for you, it was we always had fun, man. You made sure everybody was involved. Um, it was definitely it was never a dull practice. You made sure we did what we had to do and we had fun at the same time. So that's how it was.
Mm.
And how did that help you um, in translating and taking football? Because I remember in practice I used to make y'all take a knee and I talk to y'all.
Right.
Just we wouldn't even talk about football. We'd be talking about life. At 8, 9 years old, what was going through your mind? I mean, I know you didn't know then, but looking back, what was going through your mind at that time? Like, this guy talking to us about making life decisions and football is gonna do this for you, how it can help you, and anything else that you want to do in life. What was that? How did that? What did that? When you go back and look? and even not just me, it was other coaches.
Right.
We had a great group of coaches,
Yeah, for sure. I look back at it all the
especially
time, man.
coaches.
I think that it definitely made an impact on what I'm doing now. Um, being able to think about that stuff at a young age, is definitely made an impact on what I'm doing now.
Mm. So
Planting
how?
seeds.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Coach.
Oh,
Go
no, I
ahead.
just said planting seeds.
So I remember one time we had talked, and I think you was going to Wayne State University,
Correct. Yeah.
and you was gonna be playing ball there.
hmm
How
hmm
how did that work out?
I actually I didn't get an offer to Wayne State. Um, I had a few Division 3 offers. I had a couple Division 3 offers, but my academic scholarship at Wayne State was higher than what they were offering me to play football at the Division 3 school. So I ended up, stopped playing football, and I just went to Wayne State for academic.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
but
Yeah.
okay, so I'm gonna get to that, but let's go to high school real quick.
Mhm.
Play Southfield. What was that transition like going from little league going to high school?
Oh
Kind of give
man,
everybody a little feel of your years.
it was crazy because I played 1 year on the 18.
Right.
Yeah, I played 1 year on the A team, and I went to Southfield, which is a Division 1 school. Man, we played the good teams, West Bloomfield. We'll play Cass every now and then. We played Clarkston. The
Hmm.
championship schools. So
Right.
my first year at so I started on varsity as a sophomore, um, and then I was a 3 year varsity starter.
Hmm.
I started my sophomore, my junior, and my senior year, and I was a 2 year varsity captain. I was a captain as a junior and a captain as a senior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And so,
Okay.
what was that? What? Kind of give people, what was it like? What was it like in high school? You the man.
It-
You the big guy on campus.
yeah, I was. So as my sophomore year, I really felt like the man because I was the only sophomore. I was the only sophomore on varsity starting that I can think of. I think it was another guy, Marcus Fuqua, who was on defense. He started too. Um, but man, it was a good feeling. I definitely had a lot of fun, playing for Southfield. Definitely met some great coaches there, some great coaches at Southfield for sure.
You
You
say you
definitely
say
did.
Marcus Fuqua?
Yeah, Marcus Fuqua. He played
I
for
think I know it.
Buffalo.
I think his father name is Fuqua Bay, if I'm not mistaken.
No, no, no. I know Fuqua, baby. That's not him.
Okay.
You talking about the Morris brother?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I know him. That's not his
Okay.
father.
They not they is they related?
They might be. I don't know. I don't even know really.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So Juan, so you're in high school. You had something happen in your sophomore year,
hmm
where now all of a sudden you got another school later.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Had to come over and merge, and that's when because my daughter was at Lathrop,
Okay.
and that's how she ended up at Southfield because
Right.
Lathrop, you all my little ramblings, because my head was still, even though I wasn't retired, I was in middle school, enjoying winning them chips,
Yeah.
and I heard it was really hard at first.
Yeah. Yeah.
What tell everybody what it was like.
So the first year, man, when Lathrop came over to Southfield, we became first we was the Blue Jays, and then we turned into the Warriors, which is the shirt I have on now.
Right.
It was tough because that was like it was almost like our rival. Um,
Right.
and we had a lot of stuff going on. We had a lot of fights going on. Um, I don't think that first year people took it well. The students they didn't. We didn't really take it well. So the
Hmm.
football team was actually like we had to set an example of how to bond together because we had
Hmm.
kids come over from Lathrop come to the football team, that was still playing. So, that was kind of rough for us, but we end up getting through, and it actually turned out good. It actually turned out good.
Hmm. And because it was sort of like, I remember having to come to parent teacher conference, just pop up at the school. I was always that type of parent,
Right.
check on my children. And I can remember the first week. I'm probably like the second or third weekend to the school year. I walked in and I felt like I was. I watched y'all practice, and I felt like I was. What was that? What was that? Remember the Titans? I
The
kind
who?
of felt like, remember the movie Remember the Titans,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
where they had put the two schools together
Mm-hmm.
and they had to, had to put one become one. And I was like, man, this is a real life Remember the Titans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because and the thing was that the Lathrop kids were the kind of rich kids.
Right.
If you went to Lathrop, 98% of the students at Lathrop parents was in earning six figures or higher.
Yeah.
If you went to Southfield, it was about 60-40, 50-50, because you
Right.
had a
Right.
lot of kids who were coming from Detroit,
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
integrating in, and so you had that preppy versus street. But I'm gonna tell you, I was so proud of Juan because I got a chance. I'm sitting in the car coming to pick my daughter up, and I'm just sitting. I wouldn't get out the car and go talk to this guy. I'm just sitting there watching. They never knew. I remember one time Juan had no clue that I knew he was. I didn't say anything to him the first couple of weeks. I was just watching. Let me see how this boy is when ain't nobody when they don't think nobody listens. And when I tell you the brother's character, this young man's character, what you see in front of this camera, everybody, is exactly this who this young man is when nobody's watching. He's humble.
Yep. Very.
And y'all cut out. I mean, literally, I saw him one day where he had we was in the park with some of his teammates. They was about to get into something, and he jumped right out of his car and went, "No, man, we ain't gonna have none of that. We brothers." And I literally had tears coming out my eyes. I was like, "Man, this is what I'm about."
Very soft spoken too.
And he comes from his parents are just very good people. I mean, genuinely good people, and he took on to it very well. So you graduate from high school. You got a couple of offers from some schools. You're excited about going to the next level. And tell everybody what happened.
So I had a couple offers from Division 3 schools. Um, I wasn't heavily recruited. I did used to go to a lot of camps and stuff, but I wasn't really heavily recruited. Um, so after I graduated, well, before I graduated, it was like a couple months before I graduated, I came to the decision that I wasn't going to play football no more. And so my junior year, I had started a business called Sway Services, which is I still run the company now. Um, and I started that business. And once I graduated, or the 2 months before I graduated, I figured I wasn't going to what is it? I wasn't going to play football no more because I had the company, and my like I said before, my academic scholarship was higher than what they were offering me to play football. So I figured I was just going to run the company and go to school.
Mm. And that's deep there because a lot of young men your age, first thing come out their mind, I want to play ball. I'm gonna play ball. But you took it to a whole different level. You say, look,
Yeah,
I'm finna start my own business, and you in 11th grader.
yeah, yeah,
A lot of young brothers your age don't think like that, and by them hearing you now, you give them a door of opportunity that hey, you can do this. All you got to do is put your mind to it.
for
And
sure.
this young man here is very successful, and he's only 19 years old now. That's a
And you
big
know the
thing.
cool thing. The cool thing is we can talk about it now because you can't. They can't go back. This brother had a business when he was in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in high school,
yeah. Uh, and funny
his
story
own
is,
LLC.
funny thing is, man, I used to sell candy in high school, and
Right.
I sold candy starting in ninth grade, and then
Right.
once I graduated, I now own a vending machine company. So once I graduated, I took all the money that I saved up from selling candy, and I bought 13 vending machines.
Woo!
Yeah.
Say that again.
Say that again. Hey, everybody, listen to this.
Yeah. So once I was selling candy in high school, and once it was time to graduate, I took all the money that I had saved up from selling candy, and I bought 13 vending machines.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
This,
And when I was
this,
13, I wasn't even thinking about nothing like that.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Wasn't even thinking about nothing like that.
and see the reason that um Juan is one of the kids that I mean I have a very good relationship with a lot of my ex players. And I think I just contributed that just to always being honest with them, you know, and supporting whatever they do. You know, I want them to be successful in whatever they do. And I saw that entrepreneurial spirit in Juan that 10th grade year because that's when I caught back up with him in the 10th grade when the schools merged. And I always just kept my eye on him. So I hit him up one day, and I had just won my first championship. And I called Juan up. I said, "Yo, bro, what you doing?" He said, "Not much." I said, "Hey, man, I know you playing football, but how would you like to come coach with me?" And he was like, I remember he texted me back and was like, "Coach, you playing? You ain't kidding with me, are you?" I'm like, "No, man. What you come on, come coach with me?" He was like, "What would I be coach?" I said, "Shit, what you play?
Right.
I need somebody to work with my line." And he was so excited. He was like, "Bet." But then this is when things started happening for Juan. Other opportunities started coming that was putting him on a path that he didn't even recognize at that time that he was going to have to make a decision, the
Right.
football or. And
Business.
so, right, so he ended up calling me, "Hey, coach, oh, man, I was coming to practice, but I got this." I was like, "No, man, handle that business.
Right.
This
Yup.
always going to be here."
For sure.
So after he graduated, um, well, he's still in school. He was in his senior year. I called him up again. I say, "Juan, I need you." He said, "What you need, coach?" I said, "Well, look, man, I'm coaching, women's football." He's like, "For real?" I said, "Yeah." Now, but that for real wasn't girls. I said, he said, "Well, what you need, coach?" I said, "Man, I need you to come on and coach this line. You know my offense." He said, "Bet." And you know the rest is history. You
Yep.
know, and so then another opportunity presents itself for you at that time. Tell everybody what happened, because that was the beauty. I mean, when I tell you the best story of this young man, I was just like, I was so excited when you got the opportunity to go into the program at Wayne State.
So yeah, I actually went into the Mike Illich School of Business, and it's definitely been a blessing, man. I've met a lot of people, um, gained a lot of resources. And it's definitely helping me right now with my companies.
So gotta tell everybody, man, what was the struggle? What was your biggest struggle in business? And how many times you think about quitting?
Oh man, when I first started, it was horrible. Because I'm a first generation entrepreneur, so um, you know, just certain stuff that I didn't know when I first started. Man, I used to have problems with you know my truck. I wasn't investing how I should invest, um, how I should have been investing, and that's where I think my biggest downfall was when I was first starting out. But now that I know, I was doing that at a young age, and I'm still young, so uh, learning those things while I was younger has definitely helped me get to where I am right now.
Yep. Yep.
And
Sure did.
yeah, man, like I say, not being a first generation entrepreneur is definitely a struggle. So I know Coach Will was one of those guys that I used to reach out to for for help with certain stuff because he's a business owner too. he can just give me advice on certain stuff. So definitely having a mentor or somebody that's in business that you know that's in your corner, because you'll meet people sometimes that say, they'll help you out and stuff, but they really don't be in your corner for real.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So, what is like being a young entrepreneur? What it's like?
Oh
How
man,
does it feel?
it's great. You definitely it's sometimes it's a good thing, and then sometimes it's not so good, because sometimes I got to separate myself from guys that's my age that's not doing the same thing that I'm doing. So I can't be, I can't get caught up in what my friends or what my peers is doing. Just because I know that it's not good for me, and it slow me down in the long run.
So, what advice will you give a young man your age
Mhm.
if he's trying to transition to his own business? What advice would you give him or
Um,
her?
I would say do it. A lot of people get caught up listening to people that tell them not to do it, or people. A lot of people got their opinion to offer. At the end of the day, it's your life and you got to live it. So just do it. That's what I say.
And
That's
stick with
right.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Stick with
just
it.
do it.
You're gonna have your
I
ups
can
and
tell.
downs.
Oh yeah, 100%. I still have up and
Yeah,
downs right now.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, I can tell one thing that rubbed off. He said it. I used to always tell them in football, we don't try to do anything, we just do it.
yeah,
No matter what the end result is going to be, you get to say, I didn't try doing anything, I did it.
right,
A lot of people say, we're going to try to win a championship. Why
right,
not tell you the first day on the field, they never heard me say anything about trying to do anything. We building to play for a championship, and at that time when he came on, we were already champions. So we were, our championship. And it was about we going back to Ford Field. A lot of teams always said we just want to get to Ford Field. That was never, getting somewhere is cool, but what's the reward for it is what I want. It's like a business. You start a business, and if you never made any money in your business, if your business didn't make a profit, it was like, did I waste my time?
right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? So, for me, it's about I want the reward from from the experience as well. Now, does that necessarily mean, I've had a couple of failed businesses.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. And one of the things that I love about Juan and watching this young man, so y'all don't understand what it's like when watch, when you got the privilege to be on the sideline versus being in the stands. It's a different view. And I
Yeah,
had
it
a
is.
sideline view of this young man. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been watching his growth, and like he done did the game way better than I could have ever done it. I'm keeping it 100, and but that's what we should be doing. We should be celebrating our young people. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Encouraging them every. I don't remember him ever asking me for advice on something that was a bad idea. Because in my opinion, the only bad idea is the idea that's never spoken of.
right.
But when he would hit me up and coach him, hey man, just do it. I don't know, man. This is getting. I don't know, bro. Look, was winning those when you won your first championship. How hard was it?
Oh man, it was tough. It definitely, like you say, it was definitely not given to us. We definitely earned it.
Yeah, that baby bowl. You got to go to the baby bowl, and in order to get the fourth field, you got to win 3 out of 4. And they was stacking the table against us.
Oh
Cougars.
yeah,
One thing about the Cougars, we was the most respected and hated. We had a lot of talent, a
yeah,
lot of gifted young men and young women
yeah.
that participated in that program. And we actually, and this is nothing on any of these other coaches out there because I got respect for every coach that I've ever coached against or coached with. Even the ones I didn't like, I still had respect for them. But the Cougars organization, I could say a few bad things about them, but I could say a lot of good things about them. And the good things is that they had a good way of getting good, talented coaches.
Mm.
We always had way more good coaches than bad, you know, and the bad ones didn't stay around long.
Oh, they
They
never
just
do.
didn't.
They never
Yeah, the
do.
bad ones didn't stay around long. And this young man was just a product of, you know, and I think one of the things that's great for Juan, and then we gonna skip over in a minute and jump to what we hear the other things that we here to talk about. But this young man, when I tell you teammate, this the guy you want to have as your teammate. I don't know anybody on that team I didn't like. And if he did, if it was somebody he didn't like, you never knew it. What was that like, being able to go back to that experience? 'Cause that was one of my best experiences with you all. I mean, with both groups, but it was something really special about y'all group, because we had a couple of leaders that would just pop up out of nowhere
Yeah,
on that team. What was that baby bowl like? So I remember we had to go up against Patriots, and they was
I
kicking
can't
ass.
it's breaking up. I can't hear the last. What you say was the last part of the question?
Oh, what was that they not that you remember the baby bowl? What
Yeah,
was
I
that
remember.
experience like? Because that was like you had to go through a gauntlet.
Yeah, it was a while ago, man. I could barely even remember it, but I do remember winning. Um, I just can't remember that. I can't. It's not like I can't remember it
Ain't,
like that much.
ain't that something you hear what he said? I remember winning.
Yeah, I remember winning for sure. I remember that.
That's all that
Let me
matters.
ask you this.
Right.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Hindsight is 2020.
Mhm.
How do you think if you had like, did you appreciate that at that time? Did you really, or was it just because you was having so much fun?
You
You
said
didn't
that I
know what
won
it
at
was
that time.
like. Do you think it was the reason that you don't remember as much of it because you was just having so much fun at the
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
that you
Exactly.
didn't think I needed to hold on or retain anything that I was going to need later on in
Yeah.
your career?
It
Yeah,
was definitely fun. I had a lot of fun.
good. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. But look at subliminally, it did everything that you went through in your life, even the things that you was having fun with and didn't think that it had any value at that time.
Right.
Look at the value that you gain from it. Because you know
Yeah.
what winning feels like.
Oh yeah.
You know what losing feel like too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let me ask you
I
this, Juan.
remember when we were talking, you was like, "Coach,
Let me ask you this, Juan. Does it at times that you think about, man, I miss being on the field? Do that ever cross your mind? Do that ever cross your mind?
The mic is breaking up real bad. Can you repeat it?
I said, do you ever think about, man, I miss being on the field? Do you ever think about, man, should I get back on the field?
Oh yeah.
Run my business and get back on the field. Do you
Oh
miss
yeah,
the game?
man. I Yeah, I think about it all the time. But now that since I had my injury uh, in 2020, I don't think I'll be able to get back on the field. Um, but yeah, I still do think about it. Um, I think
Okay.
about winning all the time. But the most important thing is that I always have those memories with my teammates, and we look back at it all the time and talk about it, and it's a
Yeah,
wonderful feeling.
it is. It is. It is. I want to say this: when we first met, it was with the Detroit Pride when you came out to coach, and we met. We didn't see eye to eye at first.
Yeah, at first, yeah,
Yeah, at first we didn't see eye to eye. But did you like getting off into coaching
yeah,
and starting with women?
yeah. It was definitely a different experience dealing with women. Um, it was
Yeah.
fun for sure. It's looking at the game from a different perspective.
Perspective, yeah.
Yeah, but it was definitely an interesting experience.
And you was doing your business then when you was
Yeah,
coaching. I
yeah,
remember you used to come up with your truck and we had
yeah,
your lawn service stuff on the back of it.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I just want to say, man, I'm very, very proud
for sure.
of who you are, what you have become, and what you are doing. You setting yourself up for greatness, man.
I appreciate it.
And you showing it to other young men and women that the streets, you don't need the streets. All you have to do is put your mind to what you want to do and how you want to do it and accomplish it.
Yeah,
You know, and
yeah,
that's what you're doing, man. You and I'm proud of you, bro. I am so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
for sure. I will, 100%.
So, Juan, tell everybody about Sway Services real quick. We got to make sure we
Sway
give your
Services.
business a good plug.
So it's a landscaping company, but we also I just
Speak
got
up a
my
little louder. I can
builder's
barely hear you.
license. Can you hear me?
Just a little louder. Can you
Said a
turn your
little
mic
louder?
up? Yeah, just a little louder.
Yeah. So Sway Services is a landscaping company, but now we're moving into the swings of home improvement because I just got my builder's license. So we're going to be doing some home improvement. But we also do snow removal, roadside assistance.
Wow.
Yeah, we do a lot, man. I try to narrow it down. We used to do moving, and well, I still do hauling, but we used to do moving. But I had to narrow that down because it wasn't I wasn't getting enough customers as far as the moving goes. So I just went ahead and took that off the list of services that we provide.
It's especially for the liability insurance that you got to pay.
100%.
You know, a lot of people don't know. Yeah, a lot of people don't know the back end of a business. A lot of people think, oh, well, they should be paying me this and they should be paying me that. Just tell them exactly. You spend the amount of money that you have to spend just to keep your business running, right before you even get a job.
Yeah, for sure. Some weeks, man, it's like being an entrepreneur. You got ups and downs. Like one month I make a lot of money, then the next month it'll be real slow. So you definitely got to stack that money up and save.
Exactly. And that's what I used to do. I used to when I get that big check, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like, oh, I could go get this. Well, the first thing I did was I made sure that I paid the business, which means took care of the bills for the business.
Right.
And then the next thing I did was I would cut it up. It's like, all right, I'm paying myself this, then I'm gonna put this up for the business just in case this or next month is slower than, a customer decide they want to give me a 30-day notice, and so so you doing everything the smart way. I'm so proud of you with the when you got your contract. I was telling B about it when we were on the pre-production. I was just bringing him up to speed on you, and I said, yeah, man, shoot, man, he a contractor now.
Yep. So
I was like, that's what I'm talking. I said, yeah, man. I was like, man, he about to start really doing it. I'm just proud of you, Juan. Man, we so glad. I'm glad that you came by with us.
Yeah.
So now, tell everybody how they can reach you.
We on Facebook at Sway Services. You type in Sway Services, you can find us like that. And we on Instagram at Sway Services. You can find our contact information on there as well. For anybody who wants to get into the vending business, I do offer mentorship. I can help you get some machines. I can help you, get started with that. We're on. I don't have a Facebook for the vending page. For the vending business, but I do have an Instagram for the vending business. It's called Sway Vending LLC. So you can find us like that, and you can just shoot me a DM, and we can go from there.
Okay. All right. Y'all get that, Sway Vending.
Put that back up there again, Coach, so they can see it. There you go.
So that's the contact information for Sway Services, and then for Sway Vending, the Instagram is Sway Vending LLC.
Good job.
Sway Vending LLC. So I want y'all to remember that. And I was so proud because I was talking to Juan before. I was, throwing his name at a couple of people, and I remember I hit him back. I said, "Man, your vending machines can you do credit and debit cards?" He said, "I'm working on it, coach."
Yeah, and I
And
actually just got a few of them installed the other day.
booyah! Look at that.
Yeah.
So this is one of them. I got this picture up. This is the one that you sent me, but the one after it, I didn't grab that one. But
yeah.
When he showed that vending machine and it says, "Hey, this one is fully debit or credit card," I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
And every time this young man, somebody gives him an idea, throw him a bone, just know he's gonna get it.
For sure.
He's gonna get it. So we're at that part of the show now where I know what everybody here for. They want to talk sports. They want to hear us talk sports. So we already know about Wild Card Weekend. How'd you come out? Did your Juan, did your picks work for you coming out of the wild card, coming into this week's divisional?
My team, I had the Ravens, and I didn't get a chance to watch that Green Bay game, but I was counting on the Ravens to win, man, and then they let me down. So
you and
Lamar
both
was gonna get it done.
Yeah,
Lamar. But let me keep it 100. Let's talk about that game real quick. I watched. Lamar Jackson did a good job. It was see, defense has a way of, I don't care how good of a running quarterback you are, how good you are with your feet. You know what I'm saying? Pressure does one or two things. It makes diamonds or bust pipes.
Yeah.
That Buffalo defensive pressure, it busts their pipes.
Yeah. I mean, they was loading it up on each side. They didn't see it coming. They didn't see it coming, man. And them boys was fast.
Quick.
They was very fast, man. And Lamar couldn't get out he couldn't get out the gate, man. Like he normally would do, with his feet. He couldn't get out.
That 160-yard run, and they was like, "Oh, you ain't getting that again."
Yeah, they clamped down on him. They sure did. Yeah. And I think the interception he threw in the end zone, I think he really
he was forcing that.
He forced that.
That was that. That was that. I got to put the weight of the team on my shoulders instead of. This is where you can tell the great quarterbacks. The great quarterbacks, they have a way of, no matter what, they stay calm. You know what I'm saying? And figure it out. Just kind of let the game come to them, no matter where you're at in the game. One of the things I used to always coach is that, look, we've been down. I used to always tell my players, even if you've never been there, act like you've been there. When we get in the end zone, remember I used to be the one, I didn't like all that celebrating and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you showing a vulnerability to your next opponent. Oh, they ain't never been here before. Oh, they acting like they just scored their first touchdown.
Right.
Like they were surprised that they scored. So I just think that but it's some coaching mistakes that happen in that.
But I'm gonna say this: that young man that came in, they subbed for Lamar Jackson. He did an excellent job himself.
He did
a very excellent job, man.
Yes,
he was very poised, very poised. Mm-hmm. He saw the blitzes coming in. He stepped up. He
saw his lanes.
He saw his lane. He did his thing.
He stayed in that 2-second rule, that 2 to 3 second rule. If I haven't got that ball out my hands in 2 to 3 seconds, I need to be still looking to see where those running lanes are.
Hey, Coach, I got to get out of here, man. I got to go get it.
All right, man. We appreciate you stopping through, man.
No doubt, man. Love you, little brother.
Really appreciate it, man. And hey, look, man, we wish you the best.
No doubt.
We want to bring you back again one day because we want to continue to keep hearing these success stories. And everybody, look, I've actually spent my money with this brother.
Oh yeah, yep. 100%. Yeah.
He does good work.
Appreciate that, Coach.
No problem. And
right.
be looking back at you again, man. Thanks so much.
All right, man. Have a good day, man. Nice seeing you again, too, man.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
So, guys, don't forget, look back on the page. Keep up with Juan Walker Jr., Sway Services. Just a very talented young man. I was so excited when he accepted our offer to come on to the show because, we want to showcase our young talent here, not just in Detroit, but all over the United States and the world, especially African American. 19. Remember, that young man is 19 years old.
19. Young
entrepreneur. He just graduated this past June.
Yep.
So, so Coach, so the Green Bay game.
Woo.
Man, woo. I went for the Rams.
Right, I went with Green Bay.
And I was I just like the Rams just got off to a very slow start. Green Bay was giving them every opportunity to stay in the game, and they just kept blowing it.
You know what? I went with Green Bay, but I wanted to. My eyes was on that one-on-one match between Devontae Adams and Jamal Adams for the Rams. Woo, those boys was battling. They were battling. Devontae Adams, he showed him like, hey, I'm the receiver of the NFL, and he is.
And I saw it. I was like, big hats off to Jared Goff for going out there. I mean, I've broken this thumb, so I know what it feels like. I know how hard it is to grip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that release.
But he was releasing it. He was releasing it.
Yes, he was releasing it. He was slinging it. He put one pass he did on their first scoring drive, and how he threaded it right between the cover three. I was
right.
That's big balls.
Right.
That was big balls. So
when it's time to play in that type of element, playoff time, hey, you got to no pain, no gain, baby.
Exactly.
I remember when Ronnie Lott, he did a hit on somebody. His finger was literally the guy's helmet, and my man was making that thing off, man. They cut it off right there on the field. Take it up. Golf did. Went back out there.
Same thing Golf did the previous week. Yeah. He put that bad boy right back in place. I remember when I dislocated this finger. I'm not giving nobody the middle, but I dislocated. You know what I'm saying? And football practice.
Yeah. No pain, no gain, man. It's who wanted the most, and I'm gonna tell you,
Aaron Donald. He really disappointed me.
But talking about Aaron Donald,
yeah.
I mean, he was hurt, man, but he gave it all he got, man. He gave it all he's got, and his defense did help him where he couldn't really put the pressure on. But again, you got to give it to Aaron Rodgers, man.
Yeah.
And that young man, I think his last name is Jones, the running back.
The running back, yeah.
He was averaging over 7 yards a carry or better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Green Bay
and Buffalo got two young, good running back. I'm not even going. I got to put Detroit in there because I'm really Swift.
Yeah,
this kid, if he can. Our biggest problem with the Lions have always been, and I got to sneak him in.
The line.
He can't stay healthy.
And the line.
Well, I got to look at the line this year. Look, how many sacks did Matthew Stafford? I think this was his lowest season where he had been sacked, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? So the offensive line has actually gotten better because you can tell that because of look at the run, how well we were running this year. We just did. the Lions' problem for the past 10 years is that they just don't stay committed to the run.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't.
Hey, Coach JR, JR was watching. If you still watching, Coach, what's going on? Hey, Dez. Hey, Sincere. What's up, Mo? Hey, Z was watching. Z tuned in. What's up, Z? Rob, what's going on, bro? So today we have the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs. And then we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. What's your pick, Coach? With the I got your pick already. I'm writing, but you this your opportunity. You can change your mind if you want.
No, I'm going with Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I don't see New Orleans. Now they could not, but I don't see them beating them 3 times. I think Tampa Bay finna come in there with a whole different attitude, because I think right now if they go in there and get beat 3 times, Tampa Bay gonna be the laughing stock of the NFL. But I don't see New Orleans.
I don't know if they would be the laughing stock.
It'd be laughing stock. But because if you look at Tampa Bay offense, they loaded from the line to the receivers and to the running back. They loaded.
Defensively, they actually really have a really good defensive line.
They have a damn good defense. And
yeah, they do.
Dominic Sue, oh man, I love that guy, man. Dominic Sue is the force of that defense. Don't
forget about Golston.
Who?
William Golston.
Oh yeah, William Golston and John Pierre that came from the Giants. Yes. They got a dang good defense, but it's the secondary that I worry about. It's the secondary. They corners. They step up. They step up when they want to step up. Put it that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that Cleveland and Kansas City game,
that's scary.
That's a scary game because Cleveland right now they on a high. They are really on the high, man. And what's that name of that movie? Any Given Sunday. This is one of those any given Sundays that
and
it could.
I think that goes to both of these games today.
Yeah,
it's really so hard to call either way because these 4 teams today, in my opinion, are the elite teams.
Yeah.
In the NFL right now. And so I'm going with Cleveland.
Whoa.
I'm going to go with Cleveland.
Okay.
And one of the reasons I'm going with Cleveland is because 2 of our young men from Detroit, one I had the pleasure of working with in his starting his football career out, John Kelly, even though he's not activated, he's deactivated, you know what I'm saying? But he's still suiting up and he's on the sideline with his team. He's practicing, getting them ready. And a lot of people don't understand. If you're an NFL player and you're playing on a practice squad, you are just as important to that team as the guys that actually go out and play.
To get away from that game, that's what the number 2 quarterback was for Baltimore. He was on the practice squad.
Yep.
He was really on the practice squad as a quarterback. And he came in when his number was called. He came in and handled business. So not to get away from Cleveland, but when your number is called, be ready.
You got to be ready. That's right.
Be ready.
And so I'm going to go with Cleveland. My heart says Tampa Bay, but the paper says New Orleans. But I'm going to go with Tampa Bay because I think the Detroit jinx then creeped in to New Orleans. I think the Lions jinx creeped in. They creeped into New Orleans. So I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay in the NFC, and I'm gonna go with Cleveland in the AFC. I made a bold prediction, and I said that it would either be Buffalo and Kansas City in the AFC Championship, or it would be Buffalo and Cleveland. Well, I'm right already with Buffalo.
Well, I'm gonna say Tampa Bay, and I'm a I'm I'm gonna go with KC, man.
Okay.
I'm going with KC.
Okay.
Yeah, but it can be an upset, you
Yeah.
know.
And I'm just going. You heard what I said. My heart. I'm going with my heart with Cleveland because, but they're a good team, and they don't have anything to lose. So and I was one of the things I was just so impressed with was everybody was talking about, the coaches is not going to be there. This is an important game. And what did I say to you, Coach, when we were talking about that?
The other coaches got whoever is in line got to step up.
What did I say? If they stick to the plan that the head coach gave them,
they going yeah.
And
they
say,
can
this is what and don't go free balling. And you see what they did. What did you call me up and you said, hey, Coach, they doing exactly what you said. Stick to the script.
Stick to the script. Stick to the script. Yep. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you, they match up pretty good with Kansas City.
They do. I mean, yeah.
They match up pretty good. Yeah.
From left to right, all three sides of the ball. Special teams, offense, and defense.
That boy, Miles Garrett, that played DN, he's a monster on that DN, man. He's a monster,
And my thing is, Coach, is that when you look at the quarterbacks, they kind of mimic each other. And let's remember, these guys played each other in college for a championship. So we looking at, who won between them in college. What's the quarterback for Cleveland? All of a sudden, my mind just
Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield.
Right? Baker got the best of them.
Yeah.
So, not to say, this is the pros now. Whole different scheme. So let's end the show, Coach. Talking briefly about. We can go over a little bit because the games don't start until 4. Yeah, 3:30, 4 o'clock today. But let's talk real quick about the state of the Lions.
Now,
what do you think about the GM pick?
Yeah, I don't know much about him. I read up some things that he's about business and he's about winning. Mm-hmm. What they gonna do with Matthew Stafford? I hope they do not get rid of Matthew Stafford, man. I just hope they don't. But
well, Coach, in that just so I can hit you on that point. I think for the Lions, the thing that they have to ask themselves: are we rebuilding, or we just want to build on? You know what I'm saying, and add and want to be a contender. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think for me, you got to look at the cap space and the value that you could get for Matthew Stafford right now to go ahead and start rebuilding your team.
Right now, to me, the Lions shouldn't be on a rebuild. I think it's some pieces that they're missing, and there's some pieces that they need to get rid of. Matthew Stafford still have a lot more years in him.
He got a lot of football.
Very smart. Got a good arm. One of the receivers, I do think they're gonna part ways with. I do. I think it's gonna be Galladay. No, I think it's gonna be Galladay.
Galladay said he don't want to go nowhere.
Yeah, but it ain't up to him. I do
Why would you
think they
part with
need.
Galladay? I think that would be the biggest mistake.
Um, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
mean, Galladay still got 2 years left on his contract. His contract and Stafford's contract expire about the same time, or I think his expired a year or 2 years after he signed for 5 years.
Okay, I think that they need to shake that defense up. They need to shake that defense up. Bring in some more experienced linebackers. Um, some more experienced edge rushers. You know, because they don't have no edge rushers. They don't.
Right.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and on that line, man, and on that line, that's where they really hurting at. They ain't hurting at the quarterback position. They not.
But I think
And
here's
I
okay.
think it's what's his Andre what's um should
What you
keep
talking about?
Peterson.
Uh,
They should keep Peterson.
oh yeah, I think I definitely, if he wanted to stay, I would definitely keep him. I would probably. I mean, he probably wouldn't get as many touches though as because Swift has proven that he's ready to play this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna play GM. Okay, so here's my 2 things that I'm gonna be looking at. So Matthew says, "Hey, I want to stay." You and I both agree that there's not much they really need to do to this offense. Honestly, this offense averaged, I think, 23 points a game if you look at the overall average for the season. Okay? That's good enough to get you into the playoffs and do some damage because, you can always, those 30, 30-point games, you can. This team is capable of putting 30, 40 points on the board, 42 points if they needed to.
Right.
Okay? So, for me, if I'm the GM, I'm like, all right, we're going to keep this team. We're not going to rebuild. We're not going to start over. So the first thing I would be doing that I would worry about on offense right now really is going into the draft and getting me my next future quarterback that can learn from Matthew Stafford, that's going to be ready to take the reins, you know what I'm saying, and step in. Okay? I probably would go out and probably find me in the 4th, 5th round, some decent linemen, you know what I'm saying, that can come in. I got some free agent money. I got money to mess with the free agent market. But I agree with you. What I would be most concerned is rebuilding my defense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem with that is do we rebuild the defense through draft and free agency? Or do we build it on aggressively going after some premier free agents?
I would.
How much cap space is the Lions playing with right now?
That I don't know, but
I think they're playing with about $50-60 million.
I would go draft and free agency because you got a lot of people. But the thing is, we said something a while back ago. Detroit does not have an identity. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of guys don't want to come to Detroit and play because they up and down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, one of the if you talk to one of the main reasons that players don't want to come to Detroit is the cold.
But they playing indoors. They playing indoors.
No, I'm talking about the cold weather. They got to go out, just to get to work and go through the snow. Okay,
weak excuse. That's a weak excuse. Because look, it's
colder.
It's colder in Buffalo than it is in Michigan.
Well, I mean, look, a lot of them didn't want to go to Buffalo.
But look at Buffalo.
Buffalo been a laughingstock of the NFL for the past 10 years, 14 years.
But Buffalo, what do Buffalo have? Buffalo has an identity.
Yeah, but look what Buffalo had. Yeah, but look at what Buffalo went. Let me tell you what's missing. What our identity we missing. Offensively, we have an identity. you know we're gonna throw that rock.
Yep.
Okay. Our defense is what's lacking in identity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
our defense is what's. We don't have that guy that we had when we had 23. You know, or when we had
Darius Slay.
Why can't I get Slay? What was the other guy before Slay? 27. So I remember numbers. The name he was the safety.
Talking about Tucson? He came from Atlanta?
You're a veteran. Hookhead. It'll come back to me. This number 27. We knew teams fear throwing the football in any of those guys' direction. We don't have that on the Lions right now in our secondary. And that's what. And I think if we could take care of that secondary, if we could get a premier safety or a good lockdown corner, I think some of those other problems that we're having with that line, I think that would, because now we got some good linebackers. We really got a decent core of linebackers that could be that rusher. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Could be that other piece to apply pressure. But right now, we don't have guys that cover well. You know what I'm saying? And I could play one-on-one on the edges. You know what I'm saying? The back of the field. That this coaching defense, because I'm an offensive guy. Man, we're gonna wear the offensive line down. How do you wear a defensive line down? By you pass the ball. I know he can't cover. None of these guys can cover these guys. So let's just keep passing the ball. That's gonna keep wearing them out because they're gonna keep doing what? They gotta do anything they can to try to apply more pressure. They're gonna use more energy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We stepping back, pat, 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 pat. You know what I'm saying? And we got a quarterback that can get the ball out in a second.
But if your corners is doing what they supposed to do, they not gonna get that quarterback time to throw. And it was something that I saw in that Buffalo game.
That's why I was saying you right. You and I agree. We're saying the same thing.
Mike, every time Lamar Jackson ran out his pocket, that Mike was right there with him. Right there with him. I think number 49 or something like that. That was his number or something like that. And again, it all boils down to, again, your speed and your technique. And you getting off the ball, off the blocks. And that's what Buffalo was doing. They was getting off them blocks and getting to the quarterback, making to where he couldn't get into no lane.
Yeah, and they were playing. One of the things you teach players, especially if you're gonna play zone, know your area. Know what I'm saying? Your area. Yep. Know your area. Make sure you're doing where you're supposed to be and covering the amount of ground that you have to cover.
Exactly. And
exactly. So and that was the problem I had with Matt Patricia, that you were supposed to have been such a defensive guru that those little, you could have taken some of the worst players, and if you put them in the right position and you make sure that they understand what they're supposed to be doing,
right,
and what they should be looking for, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You could win. And you could be a real stopper. And so I believe that Matt Patricia's problem was that he didn't know how to teach.
Okay. Yeah. I can agree with that.
I believe that the next coach coming in,
I heard is that guy, some guy named Campbell
from New Orleans.
Yeah, Campbell, something like that. Yeah. How good is he? I don't know.
Well, he's the assistant. Well, here are some things. He's the assistant head coach in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. He was the interim head coach at Miami, and he won in the game. And under his he was 5-7 for his interim time as the head coach. So he's got that experience. And then working under Sean Payton, I don't think you can get no worse. I think, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's a guy I looked him up, and he used to play for the Lions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was a tight end for the Lions, tight end or defensive end. He
So
was one of them.
yep. I saw the little preview of him yesterday. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So remember what I said. We need alumni, and you would think that I think I would have to think that Miss Ford was watching our show.
She probably was. Because you know
Because the minute,
that Barry Sanders is on board.
yes,
Uh, the linebacker that hurt his neck,
Spielman, you got Spielman as
he's
her
on
assistant,
board.
right?
Uh, um, it's one more other person. It's one more other person. I don't know who he is, but it's one more other person. But
So,
yeah, they going in right now. Detroit Lions is going in the right direction from what I
thank you.
see. From
Right.
what
I
I
mean, and guess what? Here's the thing. People still have to be patient. Winning is not it's just gonna happen. It's a lot of things that has to be happening. You know what I'm saying? That will help you get there. One of the things is just experience. So sometimes I remember playing for a championship, and I'm like, man, okay, yeah, we got this. And put that ball in a kid's hands that he just wasn't ready for it yet. You know what I'm saying? But it was the best thing that happened, because when he came back the next year, coach, this 14-year-old kids, that shit ain't happening again.
right.
And it didn't. He was the MVP not only of the team but for the league.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
He was the most feared and highly recruited kids going into high school. Ricky Sales. I don't know what he's doing now. I really would love to
I wonder
catch up.
what happened to that young man when before I left Detroit to move down south. It was a young man that he played with the Steelers. Oh my God, he was a man amongst boys.
Oh, you talking about
Man
he
child.
played for Cass Tech?
Man child.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
You
wonder
know,
what
he had got well, he had ended up going to, had to do a little time.
Oh.
And then I think he went to Eastern or Central Michigan, one of those two. And the last I heard, I think it was last year, he was, trying to get in the league.
I think when he was young, that coaches didn't coach him right.
Oh no, I'm gonna tell you, because I
They
had
didn't coach him
opportunity to
right.
play, to coach against, the Steelers when he played. And let me tell you, one of the things is that sometimes when you give kids, young players, and put them up on a pedestal,
Yeah.
and treat them like superstars before they earn that. And
You're right.
superstar to me is get all the way to the highest level and play at a high level, and that's when you're a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And
They overworked him.
he didn't have to practice. He didn't have to practice if he didn't want to.
Yeah, they overworked him. They, especially game time, they overworked that young man. They overworked him.
We had an opportunity to get him over to the Cougars. You know what I'm saying? And he.
I think he'd have been in a better environment than with the Steelers.
Oh, definitely, because he would have had to practice. You know what I'm saying? And the standards for the star players, so to speak, were a lot higher than they were for the non.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, for me, I rode my so-called star players way harder than I did just, the kids, who didn't have the, wasn't gifted with just the talent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember good time takes me back when we talk about that. When I was coaching basketball at St. Casimir, I got my first head coaching job. I had this kid. I can't remember his name right now, but he was really good. He was one of the best players on the team. He was at practice early. I didn't have to tell him, where's your homework? You know what I'm saying? He was, hey, coach, can I get my homework? Check it for me. You know what I'm saying? He knew every play. He didn't take no time up. He gave 110% on drills.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always on him. So I remember one day, I broke him. That's what our job is. Our job is to break the player so we can build him back up. And I broke him. So, all right, man, come in my office. Go ahead, man. Say what's on your mind. Coach, how old? He was crying. I do everything you asked me to do. You smiled because you done had that. I did everything you asked me to do. I'm the first one to practice. I'm the last one to leave. And you owe me.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, let me tell you something, son. You're one of the best players on this team. He looked at me. This kid was the 7th, 8th grader. He looked at me.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Like, he didn't understand. Like, hold on, I'm the best player. And I said, you are a leader. The leader has to lead by example.
Yep. Got
what
to.
I look like going after the guy up under you before I go after the guy going after you.
Right.
I said, each time I've gotten on you, haven't you gotten better? He said, yeah. I said, isn't that my job? Am I supposed to just accept and keep you playing at the level you were playing at the day you first walked in this gym? Or should you be a much better player than you were at the, he was like, I didn't think about that, coach. I said, so remember, man, I love you. When I'm coming down on you because I know you can do better.
See something in you.
That boy never had another breakdown. He never cried another, you know what I'm saying? And it was even the enthusiasm. Juan was the same way. I remember I told Juan, I said, Juan, because he used to always have my players evaluate themselves. I did it for everybody. From left to right, I don't care what position you play. Self-evaluation. And I remember when Juan and I talked, I was like, you need to get faster. I know you're one of the biggest guys on the team. We had another big boy on the team. I had him playing fullback sometime. His name was Serge. I said, why do you think Serge in that backfield? Yeah, Serge is fast. I said, there you go. And so after I had that conversation with Juan, I never forget. We used to have them, do their lap. He started running, and now he wasn't jogging. And when I tell you, I'm like, man, I need one of my guards to be able to pull. You know what I'm saying? And Juan stepped up to the plate.
That's what's up.
But I'm gonna show you some film. I'm gonna show you this film, man. Ford Field championship. I'm gonna share it with you when we come off the air, and so that you can see just what Juan did. You know what I'm saying? And what these kids, what one of the things I like when I used to hear people saying what they can't do. But just getting back, we tend to reminisce a little bit, but just to get back. So I believe that's what the Lions need to do. The Lions they're doing exactly some of the things that you and I both said that they need to do. And a part of the identity is going back and bringing some of those players who were successful in a Lions uniform, you know what I'm saying? And come back and say, hey, guys, we had an identity.
Yeah.
So I just think that, that's what's happening. So we got our picks in. What do you think of the Pistons?
I haven't really seen them. I don't know if they a 500 team or sub 500. I don't know. I
Oh
haven't
no, they're
really
below.
seen.
They've only won 2 games right now.
Oh, I haven't really seen. Right now, to me, Detroit Pistons is on a rebuilding. They
Yeah,
rebuild.
and
That's all they doing is rebuilding.
no, and that's what I love. See, for me, Coach, I'm a kind of different type of fan and a different type of coach. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I love building something from scratch. I like watching that. That was the type of coach I was. I was kind of. I always had leftovers. For real. Always for real. I got the guys that, the guys that started for me weren't always everybody else's. You know that we had those same conversations when we coached together.
Yeah, we sure did.
Coach, I'm like, obviously you don't see what I see. And I see what Casey's doing. I like what he's doing with this young team. And he told him right off the gate, guys, it's not, man. And Derrick Rose, and see, this is how you know D Rose and Blake care about this organization, because they knew that they were not going to win a lot of games this year. They had options. Hey guys, you're going to leave. We can go ahead and we want to stay.
What you not to change the subject. What you think about that trade that just happened with James Harden going to the Nets?
Oh yeah, we gonna talk. We definitely gonna talk about that. So, man, look, I saw the handwriting on the wall. Remember, we talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
The problem I have is Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Now I'm motivated.
Where's his mindset at?
Mental illness is serious, because either this young man is mentally ill or Kyrie is who we thought he was. It's all about him.
Yeah.
You didn't talk KD into coming and joining you,
and you missing in action.
Then you abandoned him.
Right. Abandoned the team. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that young man. Now, he's a hell of a gifted ball player.
Oh, yeah.
Very gifted. Yeah. And I looked at the stats yesterday. James Harden came in and
I missed that game too.
He came in and he had a triple-double.
Well, I think it's always good when a player of that caliber is happy.
And he's happy.
And I think,
very happy.
Here's the problem with Houston. And I'm going to say Houston need to slap themselves. What was that young man asking for that you all couldn't deliver? He simply said, I want to win. I want to be in a position to contend.
Yep. And when they get there, what happens? They always break down.
Mm-hmm.
They always break down.
And the good players want to be coached.
Yeah.
So at some point, when you got a good player like James Harden, and in the postseason, his productivity drops, as a coach, the first thing you're supposed to be doing in the offseason, that first time it happened in the offseason, we supposed to be as coaches, first of all, getting together. Man, what
went wrong? Yeah.
And then sit down with the player and have the player self-evaluate and find out what is it that we're doing that's so different in the postseason than the regular season. Now, I remember the James Harden playing for Oklahoma and how he was the savior.
Mm-hmm.
They helped get them.
And they had a good team there into
the finals. They didn't win, but got them to the finals.
Yeah.
And I was shocked that they didn't do everything in their power to keep him.
Yeah.
But it looks like Houston did the same thing that OKC did.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, Kevin Durant, and from what I saw, Kevin Durant and James Harden, they play very good together.
They got chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, they do.
You would think KD hadn't won a championship yet.
Yeah, yeah. And he hit 40 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
What Kyrie? Kyrie hit some big numbers too. Did he play yesterday?
Did Kyrie play yesterday?
Wait a minute. I don't.
No, I mean because the NBA
He was supposed to be back today. He was supposed to be back yesterday.
What they're gonna do with him with the COVID situation? Because he went to a party, to a family.
Yeah, he went to two parties, father and sister, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, can I ask a question, Coach? Can we just talk about this for a second?
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
What's so important? Why isn't people taking this COVID thing serious?
I don't know. I don't know. It's funny to me because my girl, she works in the medical field, and she tells me every day things that's going on as far as this COVID and the things that they have to go through. You know what I'm saying? This is serious, man, because I didn't know if I had it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very.
So what was going through your mind, Coach? Was you like,
I didn't show it, but in my mind, I was scared because.
No, but I mean, what was playing back in your head? Before, while you were waiting on the results to come back, the whole process. Well, I mean, what was going through your mind?
Man, I was saying to myself, man, I hope I ain't got this stuff, man. Man, please, God, don't let me have this stuff, man. I wear my mask, at work. Wherever I go, I have my mask on, and that's always was on my mind, man. I was like, man, I hope, but then it felt like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It felt like whatever, but you heard the people who's had it.
Yeah, like the guy I talked to at work that had. I say, man, tell me how was it? I mean, what it feel? He say, man, look, I couldn't breathe. It's like my lungs just like was so tight that it was a bear hugging, like a matter of fact, like a python squeezing you. And I was like, wow. And then it makes you feel like you don't want to do nothing. And for those couple of days, that's how I felt. I couldn't even sleep in the bed, man. I slept on the couch. Wow. I slept on the couch. You know what I'm saying?
Now, how much of, but after finding out you didn't have COVID, that you don't have it, how much of you think was psychological? How much of it's psychological pressure?
A lot of it. It's a lot of it. It's a lot. It's mental because it's part of you like saying, man, I have it. But then when you
think that made it work? Do you think that's what made it?
I do. The fear of it. Yeah, the fear of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was scary, man. It was.
Because look, I wasn't in your position, but bro, I was like, you was on my mind and my thoughts in my all day yesterday.
Yeah.
And in the night, leading in, Friday night, when you hit, I was like, I was already like, man, I gotta reach out and get a co-host to fill in for V. I didn't, I didn't do it. I was like, okay, man. I might have to do this by myself, but I remember when you hit me up.
I'll be there.
I was like, oh man, that's what I'm talking about.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I want to give thanks to my baby, man, Sandra. She nursed me back. You hear me? Even though I was a hard head, I was stubborn, I was mean, all that, because I'm not used to being down. You know what I'm saying? She did her thing, man, and I'm very proud of her. And I know I gave her the flux. As men, we do that. We
no, speak for yourself. I'm pretty. Well, let me take that away.
Yeah, we is.
I probably get a couple people like, oh, you is kind of hard headed.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you,
especially man, like what I'm going through right now. I know I'm actually been pretty good. I remember when I first started having problems. I remember I went out and I filmed. I did a commercial.
Right.
And man, I remember when I came back after I got done. I don't know how I got through that day, and I was like, you know what? It ain't no amount of money worth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Me, doing this to myself, because the pain was even more excruciating. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it took me about. I remember I told you when you was like, "Coach, you all right?" And I'm like, "Man, I gotta just sit still."
Yeah.
And I think I think the message I want to get across to people is there's nothing wrong with sitting still.
It's nothing. Nothing. Nothing wrong with it.
The cool part of sitting still is you get to put a game plan together for when you're ready to get back up and start moving.
Exactly. 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 And it was like when I missed those 2 days, because during the week leading up to me going, um, I was already feeling that way. I was like, man, what the couldn't even sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It for a whole week, man, I couldn't even rest, man. And then it was like when I'm working, I'm I'm keeping people away from me. My supervisor
Mm-hmm.
come up, I make sure I have my mask on, and and I still have a little cough. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
it was hard, man. But that early Friday morning,
Mm-hmm.
that was it.
Hey, Akila Thomas said, "What's up, fellas?"
What's going on? What's going on? What's going
Hey, we
on?
got. Let's get. She said, "Let's go Browns." We definitely. Hey, I'm rooting for them. Really rooting for them. But yeah, Coach. So I'm looking forward to this afternoon. We about to get off of here in a second. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay.
gotta reload on the snacks.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too.
um, real quick. So the COVID shot, gentlemen. I think a high-ranking government official, I think a senator or congressman, got the shot and has COVID. But he has none of the symptoms.
Wow. I, I'm not taking it because um uh I don't know because it's I heard on the news that somebody took the COVID shot and they got even more sicker. I
Yeah,
heard
well,
that.
I mean, it right. One of the major side effects to it is allergic reactions.
Yeah.
You
See, I
know, and some
no.
people have allergic, reactions to things, and they succumb to that. You know what I'm saying? It could cause death. I mean, that really goes with anything. That's why they always ask you before, they give you a medication or anything. Are you allergic to any medications? Do you have any allergies? What are you allergic to? And so it's just so important. I think it's so important that people know their medical history.
Exactly. Exactly. And
That's just the first thing.
yeah, that was one of the things the nurses asked me. They was like, "Is there anything you allergic to?" And I told them right off the rip, "Bam, bam, bam." And they was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, gotcha,
Yeah, because I'm
gotcha."
allergic to mushrooms,
Oh yeah,
and yeah, and
I'm allergic to
a lot of
aspirin.
and some
I'm allergic.
medications, yeah, are have the mushroom extract, in it.
I
And
didn't
so
know that.
yeah,
Okay.
I have a yeah. So yeah, I'm allergic to mushrooms. So if y'all ever invite me out to for dinner and cooking, I can't. I mean, the mushrooms can't even touch it.
Mm. And that's
You
one
can't
of the
even
things
cook.
I can't stand mushrooms.
Well, I don't know what they take. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what they take. How I found out was my ex used to make spaghetti, and every time I ate her spaghetti, I got sick, so sick where I had to go to the emergency room, constantly, regurgitating. And so I remember the third time doctor was like, "What did you, what did you eat?" And so they got me clear. They had me eat it again, and then bam, it was like, "Oh, you're allergic." So then they had me eat some spaghetti without mushrooms. I was good, and that's how we found out I was allergic to mushrooms.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, to the point where they had to pump my stomach.
Wow.
I tell people that is not a good feeling. I've had my stomach pumped twice in my life, and man, that's not something you want.
Wow.
If you think you got a problem with that, with the COVID test where they got to stick it in your nose, imagine that it's got to go all the way through your nose, through your nostril, and down into your Whew. But yeah, Coach. So you excited about football today, man?
Yeah, because listen.
Playoff football.
I got to get every bit of football because football finna be over with in February. No more football.
Sir. No more football.
So I got to get it all in that I can, So sit right there on my little spot on the couch and watch me some football. I want to see a good game, man. Tampa Bay, I want to see them come out. Cleveland, I'm wishing y'all the best. But, I'm going with Kansas City, man. But I'm wishing y'all the best, man. If y'all pull this off, I'm going to tip my hat to y'all, man, because y'all deserve it.
I'm going to tip it either way, because nobody expected them to make it this far anyway.
Right.
They was written off last week.
Right. They was
written off.
They
was written off last week. Nobody, not very many people picked them to beat
Pittsburgh. Do you think that Pittsburgh should part ways with Ben and Tomlinson, the head coach too?
I would say more Tomlinson than Ben.
Wow.
I think Tomlinson ran his course, but knowing the Rooneys and how they run, I mean, when was the last time they played for a Super Bowl?
It's been a minute, but he got him there. What he done won? What, 2 of them already?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, he done won 2 of them already.
One of them was right here in Detroit.
Yeah,
I was there. But but I think it's time. I mean, sometimes staying in one place too long can get, especially coaching. I moved around, and I can tell you that helped me more than it hurt me. Because starting over sometimes is something hard. That's hard for people to do. But for me, it was like, man, I was winning here. That's the easiest thing in the world to do is stay somewhere where you got success. And I kind of just knew the right time to get out.
Right.
Time to go somewhere else and see if we can do it there. And that's the challenge.
Yeah.
That's a huge challenge.
It is.
And I was successful for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, every move didn't yield championships. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, my move up when I got into the high school game, of course, I was only a head coach in high school for half a season. I didn't get the opportunity to finish the full season out. It wasn't because of my abilities to coach; it was just politics. And,
right.
I'm not a tongue biter, and I didn't bite my tongue with the principal. She didn't like what I said to her, so the assistant athletic director, he didn't like what I said to him. But I spoke my truth.
Okay.
When speaking my truth means I'm gonna lose the job, then okay, so be it. But that means you weren't really here for the kids.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
You on the show still, baby?
Yes, sweetie. Hold on.
About to get off.
Yeah, I'm still on, baby.
Oh, okay.
I'll call.
Computer?
Yeah, I'm on the computer.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Call me when you're home.
All right. Sorry about that, Cole. She was
Tell her
checking.
she's supposed to be tuning in. No, I'm just.
She at work.
I know.
She at work. That's one thing. She these past few days that she been on me every
Oh yeah,
hour,
man. You got
every hour, man. Sorry about that, everybody.
so yeah. So I think just answering that question. I think it's time for the coach to go somewhere else. I think it's time for him to, get a
But
fresh
where?
start.
But where? But where?
Well,
The Jets already got their coach. They got my man from San Francisco. Uh uh the one from Dearborn.
I think maybe he need to go and be a defensive coordinator again for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Kind of recharge the batteries because he's still a young guy. You know what I'm saying? Thomas is still young. He's one of
Right.
the youngest coaches in his era. When he started, he was the youngest coach
Yeah.
and first African American. No, hold on. Dungy beat him, right? It was Dungy and then him, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But as far as age wise, he was what, 30, 38, something like that?
Somewhere.
He was
Yeah.
young. So and he's been there for what? He's been the head coach there what, 17 years? No.
I'll say
16?
about somewhere around there. Yeah. Yeah. He been
Anywhere
there.
between 13 and
He been
16
there ever
years?
since that guy from Michigan
Howard.
State, when Michigan State running back was there.
Mm-hmm.
And he was considered the best back in the NFL at the time. And then he got tossed around. He got traded to the Jets, and I don't know where he at now. He just fell off the face of the moon, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
they had the bus. They had the
the
bus when he
bus, they
got there.
had the bus. Yup,
Right.
yup. And matter of
So
fact, they played Seattle in the Super Bowl. They played Seattle. I remember that. Yeah, yeah. They
so
played Seattle.
I just Ben, I mean, for me, if Ben can continue to play, I wasn't dissatisfied with Ben's play. I mean, he threw an interception. That interception he threw against Cleveland was big.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was his lack of that he couldn't play. It was just Cleveland made a good play.
Yeah.
They made a good play on.
And this is what's going to happen in this game. Cleveland is coming to play.
Mm-hmm.
They not considering themselves because they playing Kansas City. They consider themselves the underdog. They consider themselves as the top team right now.
And they should.
That mentality, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen that guy Chubb having a very big game on the run in the run game. I see it happening. I see it happening, man. And Baker Mayfield gonna hit him with their arm and his feet.
Yeah, the only thing
feet.
with Tampa, just to switch over to Tampa Bay, I guess the only jinx they got in their favor right now is that there hasn't been a team to win a Super Bowl when the Super Bowl is on their field.
Right.
But I think that would just say a lot about. I mean, let's say this: if Tampa Bay was to lose today, look, they still winners because nobody picked them to be there to get this far. They was writing Tom Brady off in week 6.
Yeah. But you got to look at it, man. Tampa Bay has the team that they can go all the way and win the whole.
They got it. No, I'm not. They have a Super Bowl team.
Hey, at the end of the day, everything got to go through Green Bay right now.
Yeah.
You got to go through Green Bay right now. And Green Bay, but again, I see Tampa Bay pulling it off. I don't see New Orleans beating them 3 times, even though they at home. And it could happen because who that nation, I love them when I see them fans out there, boy. They be who that, they be live, man. But Tom Brady coming with a chip on his shoulder, and I hope everybody else. And I am so proud of Antonio Brown.
I think Sue coming with a chip
So
on his
proud of
shoulder.
Antonio Brown. He's doing this
I
thing.
think. I think Sue coming with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
I know Antonio Brown got one on his shoulders because of the fact that, coming from Pittsburgh, you know what I'm
And how
saying?
everybody played him,
Yeah,
and
you're
how he
right.
played himself.
Yeah, he did. He has to take some responsibility for that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, he played himself too,
Yep.
What you think
And I'm
about
proud of him that he's been able to, because this is the first time Antonio Brown's been this good in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Because remember a few years ago, it was like Antonio Brown is the best receiver in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The best. What happened? Went to his head. Went to his head. And I see that happening right now with Juju Smith. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
I see that now with Juju Smith. You see what he did after he. Come on, man. Really? Really? You're not even an elite receiver, man, and you bumping your gums like that. Come on, man.
Well, he up there. He's in the conversation.
Yeah, not mine. Not mine.
I think some people just take losing differently.
But still, though, man, no. Antonio Brown can talk. He can talk. But it was the way how he did it.
I think you talk when you get a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. Antonio
It's
Brown.
like how I view Charles Barkley. I like Barkley.
I love Barkley.
But when it comes to talking about championships,
you can't talk.
Shut up.
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Shut up. All you know is that you didn't win one. You played for one, but you didn't win.
That go for me too, because I never won. Only championship I won was with the Detroit Seminoles. And we played
You won a championship. Hold on, stop. You keep
I'm talking about far as like, I won it as a player, but I won it I was in my 40s.
Don't matter.
But still
Coach, you hold on.
All right.
Come in, you can't be a champion and then start downplaying it. You won a champ. I don't care where you got it, how old you was, when you got it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
You can talk about, because you know the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah, I do.
If a person's never won a championship, they only know how to lose. They can only talk about how they lost.
Yeah.
They can't talk about how they won it. Big difference. A lot of people say, "Oh, you conceded." No. That's called understanding that I've been to the highest, to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And didn't fall.
Yep. Yep.
But I also know what it feels like to lose.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to sit up and say, man, I was this close. Every time I came this close, with Buffalo, every time they came this close. Remember them days? Yeah. New England. Remember before the Tom Brady era?
Yeah.
New England had been in about 5 or 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah. Well, they had, matter of fact, they had Drew Bledsoe at the helm.
Exactly.
Then. Yeah.
Denver. Before
Elway.
Elway.
When Elway, yeah.
And Elway was there. Fortunately, he got to finish it off. But look at how many Super Bowls they have went to and couldn't pull it off.
4
before they won. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is a difference. Man, I don't care if one puts you in the club.
Mm-hmm.
Probably don't make you elite, but it puts you in the club.
Yeah.
And membership
I want
is
to
the
win
only
one
thing
as a head coach, man. That's my goal, man. I want to win one as a head coach, man. And I see it coming. I see it coming.
Coach. Coach? I'm gonna say this. I was blessed to have won my championships. A couple of those championships that I won, I won as a head coach. But you know what? The feeling is still the same. Because as an assistant, you have a responsibility. Everybody plays a role. If one person don't play their role right, that's the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah.
So even if you never get the opportunity to win a championship as a head coach, bruh, let me tell you, winning is winning. How you got it, it don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I agree with you.
So quick, man, man, you can't be in the elite club, bro, and then you bringing all that. Man, bump that, bro. I had one guy, look, I was talking to a guy, I said, man, I got 16 championships. He said, man, I got 2. I said, all right, bro, you go. Remember you and I had that conversation.
Yep.
And when I said, oh, but shoot, coach, we got something in common with each other.
Yeah.
With Juan. I mean, not with Juan, but with Coach Twan. I was about to say with Twan.
Yeah.
We had something in common. We won.
Yeah.
We won. And he, that one thing I loved about him, he was so proud of that accomplishment, and he wanted to, keep that going.
Yeah.
You know it. Once you win it, once you done got to the top of the mountain, you know what I'm saying? You want to stay up there.
You want to, ain't no doubt.
That's the motivation.
It is. It is. It is. It is. It is.
You know how many guys quit, man, because they couldn't, because they weren't patient enough to let it come to them.
Gotta trust the process.
And some things is about
process.
Something I'm gonna tell you, the best decision I made in football was to go to the Cougars. I was with the Cubs for like 3 weeks, and I was like, I don't think, my son there. I was like, you know what, this ain't the right place. And I remember when I went to the Cougars, and I remember when I decided I wanted to go ahead and coach, and I remember the interview, not here just fill out this and go to PAL and get, what I'm saying, because I was already had that. But it was, what's your philosophy? Ain't that something you sit down with a little league and they want to know what your philosophies is? Without them telling you what theirs were. They wanted to see if yours was anywhere in line with theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget that. A coach interviewed me, and he was like, you know what? I normally don't do this, but you're going to coach the wide receivers. Because he didn't trust his quarterbacks and wide receivers to nobody but himself.
Mm.
And so we ended up winning the chip, man.
The Cougars have always had a good organization. Even when I played with the St. Cecilia Beacons, and that was in the 70s, Cougars been around a long time.
The problem.
They've been around a long time.
I'm gonna explain why the championship for the A team continues to, they play for them, but they don't win them. Like if I had an organization, if I had a little league organization coach, first thing I would do, my top coaches would be my D team coaches. Because they're the ones who set the table for the organization.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem was they wanted the A team. I remember when I got to the Cougars, it was the C team. It had the best coaches. So when we won that state championship and then played for a national championship, and I remember when we were going through the whole thing and we found out that we got invited to participate in the AAU tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Our sights easily, we set our sights and start looking at the big picture, which was the state championship. That means that then we didn't care about being the best in our league. We cared about being the best in the state. And I can remember at first I couldn't believe Coach was sitting us down and having that conversation. Man, but we in PAL, man. We did. We already knew the fix was on. We got cheated out of a big game.
Right.
to go to Fort Field. We got cheated out of a big game. Never forget that. And our B team. And so I remember Coach set me down and he was like, "Look, Coach, I need to make sure you're 100% on board with this. We need to make sure everybody's on board." And he explained to me again. He was like, "Yeah, we could focus on going to Fort Field, but then we wouldn't be able to. How would we play in the state tournament?"
Right.
He was like, "So let's take advantage. We are going to be playing for our division. You know what I'm saying? That's just in the regular season." He was like, "If we can just get our division, that's cool. And I mean, we'll play, but our big picture is AAU.
State, baby. State."
And when he broke that down to me, it didn't start making sense.
Right.
And so I had to, but he was letting me know in no uncertain circumstances that if I wasn't on board after that meeting, I wasn't going to be coaching any longer with them. And I remember I said to self, what if I disagree and we win and I'm on the sideline?
Mm.
And then I had the opportunity to coach some of the best young receivers coming up. Come on, bro. That was a no freaking brainer. You know what I'm saying? And so, just all I'm saying is that, sometimes we have to understand the situations that we put ourselves in. And we have to understand we can't make something bigger than ourselves.
Right.
It always has to be. You always have to keep your eyes on the bigger picture. Even when you don't 100% agree with it, you got to be like, you know what? I got to take one for the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's what we have to translate things into our everyday living.
Right. Exactly.
Sometimes everything isn't about you. We want it to be that. Don't get me wrong. That's the ego That's the ego that all competitors, have. But it's not. There's not a sport that does not that you don't need to have a team.
Right.
Even boxing, yeah, it's you and that guy that your opponent. But guess what? It's your ring, your corner against their corner.
Right.
That corner.
Yeah, and just like in baseball,
keep that fighter focused.
Just like, since you brought that up, just like in baseball, the pitcher against the batter, but you got your infield and your outfield back there bagging you up. But it's
right.
1-1 right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Certain pitches that you got to throw.
Yeah.
This guy ain't gonna get. It ain't gonna be a pop up. This gonna be. You know what I'm saying? This for the ground.
And you know what's I had. And when I talked to you last night, and I was saying I was going back and forth, watching the game and going to this movie, Field of Dreams. And every time I watch a movie that I like, again, I get something else out of it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I might not see it the last time.
Right.
But when I see it again, I'm like, oh, wow. But anyway, when the young guy came up the back and he went to the manager, whatever, told him, he say, look, it's two things that's gonna happen. He either gonna go low and away or he gonna come at you. So what you think he gonna do? I think he gonna go low and away. I say, okay. He say, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. He got a coat low and away now. He wants you to get out your pitch, your batting zone. So it just,
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, just like in football, it's a mind game.
Yep.
It's a mind game. Every sport you play it's a mind game.
Yep.
It's a chess game. You know what I'm saying?
Who's more mentally focused?
Got to be. Exactly. Exactly.
And so that brings me to the last part of the last segment of the show. Movie of the week.
Oh, yes.
I
Yeah.
told you earlier, Coach. Look, listen, y'all. If you all do not have Prime and haven't seen One Night in Miami,
Watch it.
watch it.
Watch that movie. And listen to the detail of it.
Look,
Listen to the detail. Don't look at the
if you
movie. Listen to the detail of it.
and here's what I learned. There was thus 4 alpha African American men
Yep.
with their different ideas and philosophies and opinions on how to represent us.
Yep. And I'm gonna tell you, Sam Cooke,
Thank you.
very powerful. Sam Cooke was very, very powerful in his life.
Yes.
That man, he died at a young age. I still think right to this day that he was killed because of the things that he was doing. He was making moves, open doors for our people, man. And that man was powerful. Jim Brown was powerful. Them 4 together, America was scared. White America was scared. It was scared because they was building something that no other person can do. Like you say, 4 alpha, strong-minded men that care about their race. Come on, man. Come on now. Come on. I'm gonna watch that movie again, man, because I know.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. That's probably gonna be a movie, one of my movies that I watch going forward for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take my hat off.
I'm gonna watch at least 2-3 times a year. You know, if I had been coach, I know Coach JR had brought up the idea of us coaching again together.
Wait a minute, you ain't talking about Coach Smokies.
Yeah, Smoke. Yeah,
man, look.
You saw what he posted yesterday, right?
No, I ain't.
You commented on it.
I did.
When he brought up when the picture got put up, showing Coach Twan, when Kim posted about Twan.
Oh yeah.
You know, and showed.
Yeah, I was like, man.
I said, so man. He engaged me and was like, "Yeah, Coach, you and V ought to, get going and finish what we started." And that, my first thing was, I said, "Man, look, man, I'm fully retired. I'm happily retired." And then I gave it some thought, and I was like, you know what? Because the one thing I learned is never say never.
Right.
So I told him, I said, if the right situation presented itself, I would think about it. And then it would also have to do with where I'm at and, with my business, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And how would those things, fit in.
Well, see, I
just got an invitation to be on a Zoom call for a business opportunity. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna pass. So, don't get me wrong, Coach. Look, once retirement, it gets easier for me. You know what I'm saying? If I never coach again, I'm not going to be, because for me coming back and coach it'd be for 2 reasons. What would be the motivation? You know what I'm saying? Because what was the one thing I used to always say when shit was going wrong in our last venture?
Ooh. And
I'm not about to put my undefeated streak on the line for people that don't care.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something. I still have a bitter taste in my mouth when the Detroit Pride went down to Johnson City, Tennessee to play their women's team. And that hurted my heart bad to lose 66-0.
But coach, let me ask you a question. It
I
wasn't
mean,
the fact that see, here's the deal. I'd have took some L's like that. Okay, I took an L like that to
but
UD. Mercy, hold on. Let me say this. Was the team prepared?
no, that's number one. Number two, their minds were everywhere else on what Rhonda was doing. Why she ain't here with the this and that. Uh, why I put somebody in another position and take somebody. I can do that. I'm the coach. I can do what I want to do. You know.
But it goes far before you got to that game. The
Yeah,
mindset.
yeah,
You
yeah.
see what I'm saying? Wipe out the game. Just
Let's
act
go.
like you never played the game.
Let's go with when bringing other entities in that killed
Right.
the chemistry
Yeah.
and what we had going, and then you having players mixing, doing things, and bringing it to the team, killed the
What?
vibration of everything.
But you know the problem I had is that ownership made a decision based on two players,
Yeah,
and one was garbage.
very, very.
I don't usually call names, but I've been holding this in too long.
Go ahead, coach.
Man, what was that? What was that nickname? What was the nickname they gave that girl, that young lady? I ain't gonna call her a girl. She was a grown woman. I'm old enough to be her father though. Dang, what everybody was hyping on her. She was supposed to be able to play running back. She was supposed to have been a dog receiver. She was supposed to have been a lockdown corner. My daughter was dogging her. Dang, why can't I remember her name? So I guess it was meant for me not to say the name. Dang. But anyway, she was a garbage player. Garbage.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I know
You
who you're
know,
talking about. Oh. But
she
anyway,
cared more. She cared more about how many.
short, right? Short, right? She
No,
was
she was kind of tall. She was about 5'6", 5'7". Any other day, man, that name come out my mouth with no problem. That what that means is it wasn't meant for me to say the name. That's all that was.
okay. Damn,
But when you put more emphasis on trash, she show up to practice when she felt like it. She walk off practice. And one time she left practice, didn't even ask nobody or say, "Hey, I need to run," and went to the Little Caesars to grab some pizza.
You ain't talking about Shar.
No. She had a nickname. That's why I know her nickname. It just, but you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Now that's gonna bog my brain for a minute. I'm gonna call you when it comes. But like I say, I have a bitter taste, man, and I don't lose like that. And in that game, they ain't put an effort in. There was a lot of bozo stuff going on. I remember one chick got hurt, and I see this one other chick, Lydia.
Oh, hold on. She was the first person. Hold on, look. She was the first one that got injured in the game, in that game.
Okay, yeah, her knee.
First one got injured.
Yeah, that was her. Sharp. Yeah, that was her.
Okay. And I was like, this girl's garbage. And they was riding her strap like she was the you know what I'm saying? the second coming of Boogie Cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
And you know, I ain't. I'm. It's like when I look, man. I seen this one chick, Lydia, and I go out to the player to see if she was all right. And next thing you know, I see Lydia do a 360 and blam. I'm like, man, this is sad, man. I've went in games with 13 players, and we came out victorious, or sometimes we lost, but we played from beginning to end.
Dude, I
And
won a
we're tired,
champion.
you know.
I won one of my last championship with 16 players on my roster going up against a school that had 32.
And it was so crazy about that game there too, because I had a speech for them for their first game. They kept me out the locker room. They kept me out the locker room, man. They literally kept me out the locker room. I was like, oh well, oh well. Went in there without a strategy, without a game plan. You know, everybody didn't play ball together, man. It was more about what was Ron doing and who was digging this person, that, you know, all that old clown shit instead of just coming to play football, you know. And I was embarrassed as a coach. I was embarrassed.
And I knew when I got that phone call from Rhonda the next day after we had the scrimmage, and I was really so proud of those young ladies, how well they played with those boys, that they were in the beginning, they were scared of them.
Yeah.
Remember, they faster than us, they younger than us, they've been playing football longer than us. There was every excuse. It was thought like, okay, well, why are we going out here to play this game, man?
Right.
Why don't we just go home? If y'all already conceding, shit.
And
I believe in y'all.
And yeah, and that showed me right there with Megan and them they stepped up and did their thing. I was very proud of them, especially Megan, because that was really her very first time going up against somebody.
A lot of them, it was their first time.
Yeah, it was. And for them to do what they did, I was very proud. I didn't care about the outcome, the score, and all that. I was proud with the way they played. You know, and we had
tied up, or did we lose by a touchdown?
The touchdown. And let me tell you something. The guy who was supposed to have been, that was the head coach, he wasn't really doing nothing.
He wasn't.
He wasn't doing nothing, man.
No, they was look, they was shook, coach. They was shook after Megan got that interception. They was shook.
I'm talking about our head coach. I ain't talking about theirs.
Oh, yeah, come on. He
wasn't doing nothing. Because really,
he wasn't calling that game. That game was called.
You was calling your offense. I was calling calling the defense.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, Coach Smoke and them was doing it, but I was in their ear about how to do strategize and all that stuff. Right. Yeah. And that and again, when you talk about leadership, everything's come from leadership. They didn't have a leadership. That's number one.
Yeah. You know, I was the assistant head coach, but you know, as long as the head coach is physically there, you know me, I stayed in my lane. And I don't care what nobody say about me. I stayed in my lane.
But when I first met you, I thought you were the head coach.
A lot of people did.
I thought you were the head coach because Mike was there. He was there. I came straight. I said, yeah, that must be the head coach right there. And I went up to you and, hey, how you doing? I'm Coach Vince.
Yeah, you did.
I'm Coach Vince. You know,
and I was like, I'm Coach Muhammad. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. I'm the
and that's when he put his 2 cents in. I'm like, damn, because you look more like a head coach than he, you know, coming to practice with flip flops on and
yeah, that was another thing. I look, I'm like,
didn't have a whistle.
I'm like, how long you been coaching, bro?
You know, did have a whistle, not to knock the guy down, but you know, he wasn't.
Look, bro,
He wasn't fit.
Mike was a joke. He was a joke. Um, he was a poor example for a coach
I agree.
on any level.
I think for him, if he'd have asked more questions about or had a philosophy about what he wanted to do.
In the beginning, that he was. Then all of a sudden, nowhere out of the blue, what he did to his boy when after I found out, because remember at first it was Smoke step down. Because I was like, okay, well, I understood, my man, but then come to find out he didn't. You fired the guy.
Right. And then it was
all
too
because
much.
you felt like you needed to be the defensive coordinator because you was like, bro, look, and I kept telling him, if you're going to be a head coach, you need to have a coordinator and somebody calling the plays because you have to be objective.
Right.
When I got my first head coaching job, I hated my first year in middle school. I hated I didn't have an offensive coordinator.
Right.
I hated that I basically had to do it all myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was hard because now after each game, even though we were winning, I still had to do self-evaluation. I had to evaluate what could we be doing better. And I had to evaluate myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then, but fortunately, I did have a really good athletic director. Okay.
Right.
And so my athletic director was kind of like the person that I could sit down with. And even my principal, because he was a football guy.
Right.
So even though I was out there on the field by myself, I had those eyes that were looking. And when we sat down and had our meetings after each game, I was being evaluated, and they were telling me, okay, if you change this, maybe if you do, they just gave me things to think about.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that helped me. But when you start moving up to that stage like that, when that's semi-pro, high school, this shit wouldn't have worked in high school. I couldn't have been out there by myself in high school. It wouldn't have worked.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't have. It wouldn't have.
If I'd have had 35 kids, it wouldn't have worked. So with this guy, he came with me instead of, dude, don't you understand what your role is? I told him, I said, look, I remember this is the conversation I had with him, D. I remember because every time we talked, he would call me, hey, coach, what you think of this, what you think of that? Okay, cool. But I'm like, dude, why don't you let your coordinators do their job, hold them accountable, say the things that you want to see, getting better by position, which is what you should be doing.
Right.
Don't look at things. He was looking at stuff as plays and not as the whole picture that he was supposed to be looking. And Rhonda had told him in the beginning, I want Coach Muhammad to be your mentor, and that's why I want him to be the assistant head coach. That's why I'm making him the assistant head coach. And that's why she didn't really she let him hire Smoke. That was his only. She went on ahead and went with that, but everything else, she was like, I got to hire everybody else. And I thought that was smart. She was showing that she had enough intelligence, of the game when she brought you in. She was like, yeah, I got this coach. I want to bring. She told us about you.
Mm-hmm.
Before that tryout, she said, yeah, I got this coach V with Coach Benson. And she was like, yeah, he came from Georgia. He coached ladies football. So he's actually got experience coaching, females. I was like, cool. So, me, I'm going to lean on you. I've coached girls in basketball, and I've had a couple that played for me for football, but I didn't have an entire. So that was gonna be, and you see, I did. I went on you a lot.
Right, you did. Yep. 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 Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and but it was just it started to become
A
kangaroo-ish.
circus.
But I don't. I've seen circuses ran better than that. You know, Ringling Brothers. You know what I'm saying? The what's the other African American circus? The Universal Circus.
Yeah,
They
universal.
ran very well. So I don't know how people say a circus, but I've seen circuses ran better than what she was doing. And all I told him was, bro, you understand? You got championship coaches. You ain't never even played for a championship.
Right.
You got championship coaches, but don't you understand? All you got to do, man, is just sit back and enjoy the ride.
And then, like with me, with the defense, I didn't want to be the defensive coordinator.
You didn't. I mean, I kept basically trying to force you for the first 3 months.
Yeah, I didn't want to be, and I was like,
It
because
wasn't that
these
I didn't
young
like
brothers.
Smoke. I just thought that Smoke needed a little more
But Smoke,
time.
Smoke
He
leaned
needed
on me
more
a lot.
time to learn.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Coach
And
Smoke leaned
like,
on me a lot. He leaned on me a lot, and Coach
but that's
Twan.
why I like Smoke. Smoke came to me before, you know, he and I were already talking, and I showed him my playbook. And then he was like, well, why would you do this? So I took my illustrator and I started showing him how I come up with my plays. I run them against a lot of different fronts. I don't just think, oh, this play out call. I put it to see how that play will react to different defensive fronts. And he was like, oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? And Smoke was a student. Then next thing I know, I'm talking to him, and he's going to you. Then he's going to such and such. Then he's going over to this coach over at this school. And he's going over there, and he you know, because we supposed to be students of the game.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and when I found out, see, I was tolerant, but when I found out that he did Smoke dirty like that, I didn't want to be there no more.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't. I did. I'm like, I'm you know me, I'm gonna finish this out. I remember I had the conversation with you when you said, I was like, Coach, I don't know. When I gave my resignation, he was like, Coach, man, come on, man, hold on. And I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this season. But if one more thing happened, I'm gone.
Yep, and it did. He was out there.
Well, so look, I'm gonna tell you this, and then we gonna cut this short. Okay, so this is what happened. So after the scrimmage, because you never got the whole story. So after the scrimmage, and this boom, so she can go back, and somebody else can go back and show Rhonda because I got all of the texts and everything. So she texts me, hey, Coach, I want to talk to you later on. What time you gonna be? You know how she used to hit us up when she wanted to have that conversation. What time you gonna be free? So I told her. She said, all right, cool. Either you call me or I'll call you. So however it went, we talked. And it was in the afternoon. It was like around 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the afternoon. And so I was excited. I was, you know, because I was just so happy for them young ladies.
Yeah.
Even the ones who came that couldn't get into the game, they were on those sidelines rooting their teammates on. They were talking on the sideline about, oh, yeah, she need to do this. Oh, she need to do, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was engaged. And because I told one player to get the F off my field, she gonna come back to me like, remember Spider-Man? Spider-Man, first one, when he came in and the doctor told the military people, we got to take it back to formula.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what Rhonda told me. She said, well, Coach, you know, yeah, y'all did a really good job, but, you know, I talked to all of the players. This is what she told me. She said, I talked to all of the players. I talked to them individually and then in the group. And she said that they said that they still don't understand your system and that you need to change it. And I told her, how is it that I need to change anything when they went out there and executed, and there was only one person who didn't execute what they were supposed to execute, which if she would have did what I told her to do, run that check, dump, you're going to be open in the end zone, because they were playing zone.
Yep.
I'm sorry, they were playing man to man.
No, they play little zone it.
But on that red zone, when we were in the red zone, we were on the 6-yard line.
Oh, you talking about that? Okay, yeah.
Yep, we were on the 6-yard line. I had brought Laree in.
Yeah.
Gave Laree her series. Now Laree marched the ball down. But remember, we took it from the 20. That's when we were working on our red zone for that last series. So we started on the 20, and Laree got us to the 6-yard line. She really did a good job of moving the offense and got us to the 6-yard line. So the last play, that was the last play. We either scored or the game was over. There was no other plays left. And so we went, I think I called a Z spot or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. But it was anyway, I had her check up to the weak B gap. C. Hold her block and then dump into the end zone. Well, she did it, but when she got in the end zone, she kept her back to the quarterback. Laree saw her get going to the area, so she threw the ball where all she had to do was
catch. Yeah.
It was going to hit her. Laree hit her right on the numbers on her back.
Right.
So she did what she was supposed to do.
Right.
So when we went, we was all man, dang, and I was like, why you didn't run the route right? I did what you told me to do.
No, you didn't.
If you didn't turned around, I said, well, since when do you have your back to the quarterback on a dump? So
just who you talking about too.
I'm gonna tell you one thing I liked about Sticks. I don't care what it was. A lot of players that had their little problems with Sticks, but I'm gonna go on the record. The one thing I like about Sticks stuck up for her teammates even when they was wrong.
Yes, she did.
She make an excuse for all of them to say it was on us before she would ever say it was one of her teammates.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I know we came in with a lot of language that they weren't used to hearing, like check dunk, different, routes that they probably hit. Hell, I showed you a route tree you had never seen before.
Yeah, you did.
You know what I'm saying? You showed me some stuff I'd never seen before. You know what I'm saying? And so, so Rhonda goes on to basically tell me I got to change things. I said, so if I don't want to do it, then what? She said, well, that's when you got to the stuttering and shit. And I'm like, so what are you doing? Are you saying that you done with me? You want to go? Because remember, she had that clown. And he all in her ear on the sideline. Blah, 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 blah. But we just scored 3 touchdowns on your boys that you told everybody we wasn't even gonna get a first down. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Rhonda like, how could you even keep listening to this guy after how we went out there and competed with them boys who have football experience more than half the players out there. Right. So just your experience alone, you're supposed to win.
Exactly.
With your experience alone, your opponent ain't supposed to be able to do anything to you.
Right.
Am I right?
100%.
So she told me, okay, let me call you back. So she called me back. We kind of kept going back around in circles again about, and then she wanted to tell me about who I needed to start. Hold on, wait a minute. We got an agreement. We got a contract that I get the final say on who starts. Because if I wasn't sold on her quarterback, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be forced to play somebody that I already know. You know what I'm saying? Probably gonna struggle. And she struggled with my system.
And she could.
struggled with my
You talking about? You ain't talking about Laree. You talking about
no. The
uh
girl,
the one that was with Devin Gardner.
yeah, Devin got
Yeah, yeah.
She struggled. And I don't know what to tell you. I got a good quarterback coach over here, understands my system, knows what he need to work on with my quarterbacks to get them to be able to come out and, you know what I'm saying, and work. As much as I love Laree, athletically, Laree couldn't take us through a whole game.
No.
You see what I'm saying? I could get her in for a couple of series, and she was good for that. But putting that on her to be the starting quarterback, she was not capable physically.
I'm gonna tell you what, Laree, she had the heart. She worked out, because
She had the heart. Yeah,
I worked out
and the
with her.
brain.
I worked out with her, but her biggest problem was she get rattled fast. She get rattled very fast and scared to take a hit. And once I can look in your eyes, I already know where you at.
When she texted me that and told me that, when I asked her, why are you closing your eyes when you throw the football? And I needed a quarterback who was tough, that could trust enough to stay in the pocket long, you know what I'm saying? Right. Long enough to let those receivers break free, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But also had the footwork to be able to get out of there, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And get whatever we could get. My whole thing was, let's play mistake-free football from the quarterback position. We don't take losses. Right. You know what I'm saying? We don't just throw anything. Right. Right. And the problem I had with Devin's girl was she was scared to get hit, and she didn't trust her receivers. Do you remember that one scrimmage we had in practice? We had that young girl that came out that was quick, that was real fast. Yeah. And I had her playing back. I had her checking it in, dumping out. Y'all had everybody covered but her. And I asked her, so she wide open. Why you not hitting her? Because the girl had said in the huddle she don't know how to catch. So the first thing she said to me, she can't catch. I was like, what are we out here doing? This practice. How she gonna learn how to catch if you don't throw her the ball? Why are we doing these drills? The whole thing for doing the drills is come out and bring it out on the field. So what happened after I took that time? Remember, I was out there going off. Mm-hmm. Ran that play, boom. She hit her, and she got like 15 yards. Mm-hmm. I remember you went crazy. Yep. You went crazy on your defense. How the hell? I was loving it. That was when I could make you look. My whole thing, coach, was to piss you off. I loved it because what it was is that I was just showing you stuff that when I was hitting in practice, along with getting my team, my offense ready. You know what I'm saying? I also wanted to get my defense ready and show them where their holes is at. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes. Mm-hmm. Because for me, you got a lot of teams that don't. A lot of teams won't use 5 of their eligible receivers. Yeah. What I did was I threw everything including the kitchen sink at you. Yeah. Because what did I tell you?
And we clogged it up too 90% of the time.
Exactly. I was so happy when y'all finally waxed us. When y'all stopped. Remember that scrimmage?
That scrimmage, yeah.
Man,
yeah.
I was so and I thought y'all thought I was being fake, but I was so proud of y'all, man, because I don't like I don't like. I would not have felt comfortable going into a game, a real game,
I'm glad you said that
and
because
my defense couldn't stop.
I posted that video on Facebook
Yeah, you did.
where I did the push-ups at. When I did the
Oh,
push-up,
okay,
yep,
okay. I
I
missed it.
posted that video because it came into my
Oh yeah, yeah.
memory
Okay.
thing.
I
Yeah, I
watched
see.
you when you did it. I thought you was talking
Yep.
about something else. But you see what I'm saying? So that practice, that scrimmage, dude, that was huge. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I remember Twan. That was Twan's first day going to the defense, where he was just all gonna be all defense. And I remember he called me that morning. He said, "Coach, man, look, man, I love you like a brother, man, but don't take this butt kicking personally." And I said, "No problem, man." I said, "Because if y'all stop us, that means we, as a team, we gonna be ready. But if y'all can't stop us, we're gonna be in trouble."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was so proud all week how y'all stayed up almost 24 hours a day, Twan at work, talking to y'all on the phone, group texting and group chatting defensively on what y'all gonna do and how y'all were gonna attack us.
Right.
And that's when I knew in that game, because remember when we finally did score, it was because I had went on ahead and put what's her name, man? I took Devin's girl out as a quarterback and put
Who was that? Who was that?
That's my girl. But look, I don't know why everybody's name is escaping me today.
Who was that?
But when I put her in at quarterback, because y'all was blitzing.
Who was that?
She used to be my camera girl. That's how camera lady. That's how her and I met. She did a film project. Was operating the camera for a project that we did at at the Aretha. It's the Aretha now. But it's gonna come back to me in a minute. But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. Hey, but look, Coach, my girl be here in a minute. I want to make sure.
Oh no, go ahead. I gotta get. Look, we really was supposed to have been done at 2:00. We went down memory.
And we always
but that
go
was
on.
in a nutshell. But in a nutshell, since Ronnie didn't have the balls to tell me I was fired, because she kept going around about it, I said no problem. I'm done.
But you know what, man? Like I always say, everybody's not an owner and everybody's not a head coach, and that was shown. I can't speak on what Detroit Pride did previous years and none of that.
Exactly.
I wasn't there, so I can't speak on what they did. They can do that, but from what I see, that was a terrible organization.
I mean, had I did my homework, I wouldn't have never encouraged my daughter to go to the team, and I wouldn't have never coached for it, because I did my homework after the fact, calling people, because and Michigan, man, the coaches, I mean, everybody know, if they don't know you personally, they know something about you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so when I got the, calling, okay, boom, and it was like, hold on, wait a minute. What's her name? Oh no, she owed me money. She did. Oh, what? Now I'm sitting there like, what did I get myself into?
Right. But again, we live and we learn.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
All right, Coach. Well, everybody, thanks a lot. We kind of used the last, 30 minutes to do our own personal little. But thank y'all for tuning in, and for everybody that's gonna watch the show in the week. Hey, we appreciate it. We appreciate the views. See, we lost a couple of viewers from another situation. They didn't show up today, but that's all right. The show must go on. We appreciate it. If they decide to come back, they come back. If not, we understand. But you all have a great week. Stay COVID free. Transition is coming this week. We'll have a new president Wednesday. My advice to everybody, I don't care whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or independent. I was always taught you don't have to like the person, but respect the position.
That's it.
I wish President Joe Biden elect, so he'll be president by Wednesday by then. I wish him and Vice President Harris all the success. I hope that they will do
everything
what
they
said they were going to do.
Yep.
Because no matter what, this country still needs leadership, and so we can't accomplish anything divided. We can accomplish a lot if we come together. We got to learn how to agree to disagree.
That's right.
We got to learn how to agree to disagree. Spewing all this hate. Every time you turn around, I'm hearing people saying negative things about Trump. I hear people saying negative things about Biden. Look, people I don't like, I don't talk about. I don't care what they doing. What about you, Coach?
That's giving them energy. I ain't about to give somebody I like energy.
Right, so if you don't like them, leave them alone. Don't talk about them. Stay in your lane. That's just me being on my soapbox. Thanks a lot, Coach. I'm glad that you're doing well.
Continue,
my brother, to keep meditating.
You do the same,
follow
man.
those instructions because you know they right.
Yeah.
What you got to say to the people before we go?
Stay safe, stay positive, keep your head up, stay away from the clowns, and hey, much love to everybody. Peace.
All right. Till next week, y'all. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a